So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, we're back today. It's Q&A Sunday time. I sit down and answer the questions that you guys submit over at officialtruebrits.com. Sorry if I sound a little bit different. I've just woken up, and whenever I wake up, it takes me a while to get going. I'm not a morning person, to say the very least. But anyway, we're going to get into the questions. Please do keep submitting them. I'm enjoying answering them, and we're going to have some gameplay in the background as always. So next up from Juan, or the first question from Juan Duplessis, says, "Hi TTB, just wanted to ask for some tips on how to defend properly on FIFA and PES. Love the vids, and greetings from Namibia." Oh, very, very nice. Greetings from Florida. Defending on FIFA and PES. Well, for FIFA, first of all, always use the tactical defending. You know, Legacy is easier to use, but it's nowhere near as rewarding. And for me, it's not as good. Tactical is a very good way of defending if you can defend that way. First thing I do is I always switch around the buttons. I use R1, obviously the trigger button, as the one that barges players out the way. I'm not sure what it's called, push or whatever. I know it's normally synced up to maybe square or X on PlayStation 4, but I switch it around. I always put it as R1. I use teammate contain as square, and I use contain as X. I never use contain at all. I think it's a waste of time. I will always use teammate pressure, R1 to barge players off the ball, and L2 to jostle, and just sort of, you know, jockey them, and then when the timing's right, bang, straight in there. The reason I use R1 is because when I'm sprinting with R2, it's right next to it. I can just hold R2, hold R1 as well, and players like Yaya Toure will always outmuscle players like Neymar, and you'll win the ball. So that's one tip from me. You have to use the jockey button as well, always. Especially if players are running at you. Don't go diving in. Try and time it. They're either going to go left or right, and if you can get that right, then you've got a chance of winning the ball. On PES, defending's a little bit more slower paced. You have to use the jockey button as well. But it's a little bit harder to defend, I think, on PES, because it's not quite as responsive, I don't think. That's for me, anyway. Especially against the AI, it can always be tough, because you can't get the ball off them sometimes. And it is frustrating, especially on the higher difficulties. But you just have to try and stick it in there. So, just take your time. Those are the tips I've got. Jockey, switch around some buttons to make it confident for you. But ideally, you've just got to practice and try and time it to your best of ability. Okay, next up. Let's see, what do we have here? Next up from Mr. Shepherd says, "Hi TTB, I would like to hear what your opinion would be if EA includes a dynamic weather and day-night cycle. For example, if you start playing in overcast weather to start raining or snowing, or if you start at dusk, it starts progressing time, etc. It isn't a game change, but it will be more realistic since it feels like you're stuck in a time warp that doesn't move. Hopefully you read this question and answer it." Yes, I did read it and answer it. I think that would be fantastic, and I've said this before, that if they added some sort of dynamic weather system, like they have in the likes of Drive Club and stuff, it would be brilliant. I don't see why they can't do that now with the power of the PS4 and Xbox One. Obviously it's not going to work probably on the old school PS3 now and 360, but yeah, I think it'll be fantastic. You start a game at 3:30 in the afternoon, it's sunny, and then the second half, suddenly the rain starts coming down and it affects the gameplay and the way the match plays. It'll be brilliant. Will it happen? Possibly. I think EA are working on a new engine that could come out in the next few years. If that does happen, you would hope that some sort of weather system like that is going to happen. Is it going to happen on PES? I've said happen a lot there. But is it going to happen on PES? No, not for an awful long time, because Konami are far behind the times, and we all know that, and they don't want to change their ways. So it's something that we probably may see on FIFA in the next few years. On PES, very doubtful, but I'd love to see it. Okay, good question. Up next from David Orta says, "Do you ever watch Liga MX football soccer from Mexico? And if so, what are your predictions?" No, I don't, unfortunately. Living in Florida, the only real I mean, I do get quite a bit of football over here. We have BT Sport, which shows all the Premier League games, which is fantastic. We also have Bundesliga matches that are shown. Some La Liga now and then, but I don't get any sort of Mexican, or maybe we do, but I don't watch it, so unfortunately no. Next up from Harson Jason, "Do you enjoy playing FIFA or PES more?" Well, I answered this in my last video. I'm not going to go through all that again. it's one of the, you know, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. I enjoy FIFA for what it does in certain aspects, and I enjoy PES for what it does in other aspects. So, if you want the full answer, check it out in my last video. Okay, next up from Brandon Carter. Who do you think will score the most goals in the Premier League? I think it will be Harry Kane. Well, Harry Kane is becoming an absolute beast. I mean, I think he scored 8 away goals in his last 8 games, which is pretty damn impressive. But I would have to say, probably someone like Aguero may steal it. I think if he stays fit for Man City, he's a goal-scoring machine, isn't he? He just bangs goals in every week. Diego Costa, maybe, I don't know, I think his form may drop a little bit. He hasn't been scoring as freely recently. But I think Aguero, for me, would be the player that could win it. But Harry Kane, could be up there, especially the way he's playing. Don't get me wrong, could finish 2nd or 3rd, no question. Alright, next up from Robson McCarthy. Have you ever thought about going back to the UK? Well, I haven't been back there since 2006. Which is nearly 10 years ago now. It was 9 years. No, I don't actually have any plans to go back there. It doesn't interest me. Living in Florida where everything is warm, well, most of the time. The houses are big, the roads are big. There's just more freedom to do stuff. I don't like being in sort of small spaces. And living in England when houses are on top of each other and the roads are always packed, there's always traffic. Just got frustrating. The weather sucks half the time. That's why we left. And I don't really have any intentions of going back there. Although I do need to find a job soon. Otherwise I may be going back there. So that needs to be sorted out. But no plans. I mean, to see family, sure, maybe. But I haven't seen them in a while either. So there we have it. Okay, from PES Fan. Would you like to see MLS licensed in PES? Well, any kind of license in PES it's a good license. I think PES, we know, can't have the Premier League license because EA have that locked up. So any kind of other licenses, yes, they always seem to get like the Brazilian and all them, which don't really interest me too much. But yeah, I'd like to see MLS. Why not? Alrighty, next up from Handsome Shaki, or Shaki, however you say that, sorry, says, what are your dream holiday destinations? Have you ever thought of coming to Singapore? Somewhere exotic, somewhere warm with beaches and good food, good weather. I think that is my kind of dream destination. I'm not a huge guy when it comes to sort of going on holiday. I mean, I haven't left Florida. Well, I went to Seattle last year, which it was alright. It was a nice place to visit, but the weather was terrible. But somewhere just, the Bahamas, I mean, I don't know, somewhere exotic and warm. Nice beaches and stuff. That's really a nice holiday for me, a dream destination. I like to go somewhere like Dubai, where there's ridiculous, where you see Ferraris probably like it, you see Fords over here. Somewhere like that would be really nice to go to as well. And Singapore, yeah, sure, why not one day? You never know. I'd love to take the old lady to Singapore as well, why not? Okay, next up from J Beastie. Says, hello TTB, this is my question for you. If you were the Man United manager and you had £100 million, who would you buy and why? Ooh, that's a tough question. Who would I buy? I don't know, someone like Paul Pogba I think would be a phenomenal player in the middle. I know Man United, I think they used to have him when he was a young lad, then they got rid of him, and now he's turned out to be a beast. So someone like Paul Pogba, I wouldn't go mental and splash out a ridiculous amount of money like Man United has spent on like Di Maria, who has turned out to be, well, rather disappointing. I'm not sure what's going on with him. I don't know if Louis van Gaal's knocked all the confidence out of him, as he seems to have done most of the United players, but spending all that money on Di Maria, and you would expect a lot more from him, it just hasn't worked out. But yeah, I'd buy someone like Paul Pogba. You could probably get him for what now, 40-odd million maybe? I'm not sure. Juventus would probably want quite a bit for him. But he's turning out to be an absolute beast. Okay, next up from Eric Skrock says, hi TTB, have you tried PES 2015 Modern Gameplay V2 by Nessa24? If you did, do you recommend it? Anyway, I love your videos and keep up the good work. Yes, I have used it. I did use it in one of my Sunday, Q&A Sunday videos, I think. I might put it out for today, actually. I will include the Nessa patch in this video. I will try to, so you guys can see the difference. But yeah, it works pretty good. There are some good things about it and some bad things. I think the AI presses a little bit more, so it's a little bit tougher. But sometimes the goalies aren't as good. I mean, there's always going to be problems when you go around and tweak gameplay and codes and stuff. But yeah, I'll try and leave it in this video so you can check it out. Alright, next up from Luke Go says, if Man United won the league, will you do a celebration video? I'd do more than that if Manchester United won the league. The way they're playing, they're not playing great, but they're still getting results. I mean, the Newcastle result was unbelievable. How they managed to win that, who knows? And don't get me started on why Falcao isn't starting after he gets a penalty in the last game, plays well, takes him off, doesn't play him for the whole of the last game. No idea. But yeah, I'll do more than a celebration video if Manchester United do win the league, because the chances of that happening are pretty slim. But you never know. Stranger things have happened. Okay, next up from Shadow ACS. Hey TTB, there are rumours that Marco Reus is going to the Premier League. What are your thoughts? Love your vids. Could be interesting. I haven't really heard who he's going to or who he could be going to, but he's a quality player, and any kind of quality coming to the Premier League always is good stuff. So yeah, I'd like to see him there and see how he gets on, because obviously Borussia Dortmund not really working out right now with the way they're playing and the position they're lying in. Okay, and the final question for today, this one's from Vid Shoik, says, what car do you have? Well, it's sort of my parents' cars, because I'm still at home. But they've got my dad's got an F-150 truck, but I don't drive that. I drive either the Fusion, which is a 2014 model, or we got a 2013 Focus, I think, as well. So we're all Fords in this family, but I absolutely love the Fusion. It's so comfy, and I love the look of it as well. So, yep, there we have it. Anyway, that is all the questions for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please do leave some more questions for next week, and we'll be back shortly. But until next time, take care.